I think we've spent a lot of time, kind of like Dad mentioned a minute ago, where you just kind of get stuck on this is how it always is. You raise your hay, you sell it to whoever buys it, and or the cows are the same thing. You raise the calves, you sell them to the market, whatever the price is, you're just kind of stuck to. You're beholden to whatever that is.
Okay.
And so, um, when you asked if I would change something, I guess I'm still kind of new enough to it that not too much. I think I am the change we're making. And thankfully together we're on the same page to do it. But when I wanted to start farming, we couldn't feed two families off of it. And so I think that had a big um, implication, I guess, on what we had to do to diversify a little bit. And so I actually went and bought a bunch of the cows. Dad had some, but I went and took out a loan and bought a big bunch of them to run
Okay.
because mostly I'm feeding my family, I guess, off of the beef side of it. Dad is kind of um, doing his family and farming off of more of the hay and whatever. It's all together. We have accounts together and keep it going, but we couldn't keep growing without diversifying. And we just found that, beef would help ensure that we could stay sustainable and growing. And then, of course, the pork, like you said, lamb, some of that just has kind of helped grow into ensuring that we could keep going. Otherwise, it just isn't sustainable to keep each generation going.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I also saw that you guys do the alfalfa, forage, and grain. Um, how does that mix work in practice? Like between the grains and the livestock?
So because we're trying to market our beef, our pork, and some of our neighbors' lambs, we found that we control what the inputs are. So by us raising the hay, by us raising the grains, by us raising the product, we know what we're feeding our animals. It's not
Okay.
we're buying, purchasing. It's raised here too, and we clearly can raise more than what our animals can eat. And so then we try to market, and we've been very successful. We have some very good neighbors and friends around that take our hay to the dairies. We send a
Oh,
lot of.
okay.
This year sold about 24 semi loads of
Oh,
dairy hay that
dang.
went other places, and then we can use our other hays and for our animals, our cows. It's a growing process. You got to have grinders, you got to have equipment, and well, it wasn't just jump in, and we're still in the process. We're very small, hopefully growing incrementally, but it's been successful. We think we got the right business plan. Now we just got to hang with it.
Okay.
And I think part of it is just that, like I said, we produce way more than we need, but also the markets are just so up and down all the time that having your eggs in one basket, like I have a friend that about my age and mostly just does like hay and grain. But when those markets suck, like, man, it's hard for them to make their financial obligations. And so for us, if hay prices are terrible, we don't have to sell it. We can put it through our cows and make more money that way. Or if hay prices are really good, then we'll sell more hay and try to pasture more or buy back the cheaper quality hay that our cows still put to good use. So it just kind of helps you be a little more stable, I think. Um, we're not we don't get that monthly paycheck that just gives it to you no matter what, it hits your bank account. And so this helps us ensure that there's always somewhere for money to come in to cash flow what we're doing.
Sounds like a diversified portfolio.
I think a big asset to what we do is we work together as a family, and don't mean to say that tritely, but my brother is very much a part of this too. He's a mechanic. He's an air conditioning specialist. He has his farmland. We all work together. We share equipment. We share tractors, combines. When somebody's harvesting, we all jump in and we harvest for whoever and however. And I think maybe back in the early 1900s, that's the way
Mhm.
things worked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
uh, I, I like to think that we're still maybe maintaining that. And we've had a lot of neighbors and friends ask us, like, I don't know how you guys can do that. And it's like, well, we don't charge each other. We don't keep score. We do whatever we can do to make him profitable. He does whatever he can do to help us stay profitable, and we work together. If his hay gets rained on and he doesn't have a good market for it, we know our cows can eat it, and we'll buy his hay. And on the other hand, when we're looking for pastures and stuff, he's like, "Hey, bring those cows out here." So I think that for us has been key, is the whole family unity part of it, and working so that we can all succeed.